Tasho khona ngizathi omunye futhi owalekelela ekuthize ibhaleke incwadi leyo ke uProfessor Duket bese enkantolo yasuthi ake uProfessor lo ke umngani wenkantolo futhi ke waphakama umunye ummeli wasinathi very amazi futhi nakade amfundisa ngesikhathi esikade afunda vets kepha igama lencwadi leyo ke bathi iqabane kepha ufakazi ngabe uyayazi igama lencwadi yathi iqabane athi cha akalazi igama lelo.
Thank you, my lord. Just to give this quite a bit of a background of what iqabane is, my lord.
Yalazi iqabane.
No, I don't mean comrades.
Yawazi umkhonto wesizwe.
No, I don't mean the comrades, my lord.
Well, yawazi umkhonto wesizwe.
I know it, my
Thank
lord.
you.
Yeah, I don't mean
I don't know iqabane which is.
It's not me, this book, my, I'm not referring to the freedom fighters.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Iqabane, my lord.
My mother, wait, before you go any further, my mother is Zulu.
Yes.
So you heard me.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
this book called Iqabane is to the police services, South African police services, what the uniform rules of court are to an advocate who's plying his trade in the High Court of South Africa. It is also a book which is what the uniform rules of the court are to a judge who's adjudicating who's adjudicating matters on a daily basis at the High Court, such that if an advocate who plies his trade at the High Court of South Africa and a judge who adjudicates on matters at the High Court of South Africa says, I do not know what uniform rules of court are, they don't belong there, they are misplaced. That is what iqabane is to members of the South African Police Services.
Is busy with argument and cross-examination at the same time. We submit if
Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
I'm not done with my cross-examination, but I only was trying to give a perspective of what this iqabane is. Now that Brigadier UGininda said he does not know this book. So this is not argument. I said to the court, let me explain to the court what iqabane is. I use an example of the uniform rules of the court. So I don't know what is my colleagues worry about me making such an analogy.
Yes, any other further cross-examination, Mr.
Thank you, my lord. Brigadier UGininda, and unfortunately, you have cut my cross-examination very short. If you're then not aware of this book, there's nothing that I need to take you on this book. All that I can put to you, all that I'm left with now, is to put to you that the procedure that you used in the interrogation of accused number 2 without using that prescribed form was very irregular.
Athi-ke ummeli ke nafakazi usinciphisile ke inkulumo yakhe kade imibuzo yakhe kade azokubuza yona ke mara ngoba ke incwadi lethize awuyazi ke kepha ke lalela ke mara nodaba lolu ke lenkulumo yakho noma ingxoxo yakho kade unayo ke nomsolo lapho ngesikhathi kade unayo ke awulandelile imigomo ngendlela efanele.
My lord, I'll start with the last part. I totally disagree. There is no, when Advocate uMnisi says prescribed by what policy? Prescribed by what? Because we are governed by the standing orders insofar as the police is concerned. When it comes to the rule of law, it's CPA and also and other related legislation. That's what I understand, my lord. Now, if I'm being told it's governed, it's prescribed by what? I'm not aware of such prescription.
Athi-ke lapho ke uthanda ukuqala ngiphuze lo gcina kade akhuluma ngalo ke ummeli athi lapho ke cha akahambisani ke naye ke ngoba ke uma ngabe athi umthetho othizeni umthetho okhethekile abakazi bawulandela awukho umthetho onjalo ke ngoba ke uma ngaze ungabuka ke malana nezomthetho za la eNingizimu Afrika khona ke imithetho ekumele abantu bayilandele uma ngabe senza ke izinto.
So I don't agree with the assertion, my lord, with that assertion. I followed what was prescribed in terms of warning the accused according to his Section 35 constitutional right and ensuring that he was in a clear and sober senses and the process moved from there, my lord.
Athi cha lapho ke uyala ke kahambisani ke nenkulumo kammeli ke ufakazi ngoba ke khona ke lapho ke nosebenzisa ke umgomo noma umthetho ngaphansi kuka Section 5 wezomthetho wala eNingizimu Afrika. Section 35 wala eNingizimu Afrika ngesikhathi sibabeka nenkulumo yakhe ke malana nomsolo.
Thank you. Let me ask court, my lord.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine.
Yes, I'm placing this information on record. Page 18 of this book, paragraph 5 thereof, speaks about warning statements. What is it that needs to be done? How should warning statements be taken and what form must be used?
Athi-ke ummeli fakazi malana nencwadi beyakhuluma ngayo-ke uma ufika lapho kule cast list 18 ku-paragraph 5 lapho-ke ikhuluma mayelana nendlela kumele warning statement mali bayithathe kanjani-ke ngayiphi indlela balandele yiphi-ke imigomo.
Thank you. I take it you not have a comment because you do not know this book.
Yeah, but my lord, I'm being put in a very unfair situation. I've said I've not read the book,
Yes.
and it's not a requirement. I've not heard that before you become a police officer, you must go through this
Okay,
book. It
fine.
was not taught to me even at the college, my lord. Now,
you.
certain sections within that book to be put to me, what must I say, my lord? Because for me now to comment, I must acquaint myself with the book.
Thank you.
It's an unfair situation, my lord.
Thank you, ma'am.
Athi-ke ufakazi malana nodaba lwenkulumo yencwadi-ke akanalutho angathi alukhulume-ke udaba lencwadi lena ummeli kade akhuluma ngayo-ke ngoba yena akanalo ulwazi incwadi futhi incwadi akakaze ayifunde futhi incwadi labakazi bamfundise ngesikhathi lesikhathi yasekholishi lezesiphoyisa.
Thank you. Brigadier, a person at your level, that's not just an ordinary level. It's a super level. It's a managerial super level, who for all intents and purposes should be aware of this book. Therefore, ignorance of the law in these circumstances will never be an excuse.
Fakazi uyasho-ke ummeli khona njalo ukuthi malana nomuntu-ke osebenza kwisikhundla osebenza kusona-ke ngaphansi kwesiphoyisa-ke usuthi afana-ke nomuntu ongathi mhlawumbe ukwesikhundla sokuthi ube umanager wesikhundla leso kusona-ke kepha-ke uthizeni ungafundi incwadi lena kumele kube mhlawumbe yinto oshayisa undiva leyo.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
We don't really understand the purpose of this proposition that is being put to the witness, and we submit that it should be disallowed, my lord.
I did not say, Mr. Baloyi, what is it that needs to be done with this proposition?
Yes, my lord, to put to a witness that is ignorant of the law. I don't know what law is being referred to. We submit that is unfair. But my lord, for the past 2 days, Advocate uMnisi has been busy with warning statements and purportedly to challenge the evidence of Brigadier uGininda regarding the investigation that he was busy with regarding accused number 2. And Brigadier uGininda has ad nauseum mentioned that he was not busy with the warning statement. He was not taking a warning statement. He was busy with an investigation. And my lord, we've quoted an instance of a police officer who sees a person carrying a laptop in the street.
Objection, my lord. Objection.
Let him
This is
finish,
argument.
Mr. Mnisi.
This is argument.
Mr.
And I
Mnisi.
am still cross-examining
Let him finish.
Mr. Baloyi. Mr. Baloyi, if he wants to take this matter up, you will have ample opportunity in re-examination. This is highly
No, let him finish.
unprocedural.
Let him finish.
The court is condoning it. Thanks, man.
I'm not condoning anything. We've been talking about textbooks and about
Yes.
people being ignorant.
Yes.
And this judge telling you that Dugat is my friend, etc., etc.
Yes.
So I'm sure you can be allowed to tell us what he thinks.
My lord, we're just elaborating on the objection that we are raising. Advocate uMnisi is busy with collateral issues. Collateral issues are only limited to, are only allowed to a certain limited extent. When a witness answers or gives an answer to a collateral issue, that should be the end of the matter. The question of warning statements we submit, it's a collateral issue. What the witness has testified about, it's the investigation that he was busy with, not a warning statement. He has testified that at a much later stage, a warning statement of the accused was taken. And my lord, we've mentioned the instance where a police officer sees a person walking in the street carrying what could be a suspected stolen property, perhaps a laptop. He approaches that person to say, in terms of section 36, I suspect you to perhaps be in possession of a stolen property. You may give an explanation. You're not obliged to give such an explanation. He's busy with an investigation at that stage. He's not taking a warning statement. If that suspect prefers to give a warning statement, to give an explanation, he will then, if he says, I bought it from a certain place, the police officer will then go there, establish if it has been bought there, and if indeed it has been bought there, it will be the end of the matter. But if it can be, there's no need to take a warning statement at that stage. He's busy with an investigation. And if perhaps it is established that he did not buy the equipment there and he decides to charge the person, then he takes him to the police station. He says, listen, you are under arrest, I'm charging you, and you can then make a warning statement. And that's precisely, my lord, what happened here. He was busy with an investigation,
Yeah, fine.
and a only statement followed much later.
Yeah, you guys can argue all these aspects.
May I respond?
Yeah.
They actually reply.
Yeah,
Because
reply
I
or
made a
respond. No
supposition.
problem. No problem.
He responded, then I reply. That in terms
Yeah.
of a standing procedure.
Yes, you can respond and reply.
No, I'm replying, my lord, not
Fine.
responding. He was responding.
Yeah, fine.
Actually, he raised an objection through a response.
Okay.
The state, my lord, is lost. And I'm saying that with great respect. He's lost. Because at the center of what we are busy with now, there was a statement that was introduced that uGininda was taken through that statement. The wording of that statement says, each time a suspect is interviewed, this document must be used. That is the gist of this inquiry, my lord. And uGininda said, no, we need to consult, we need to get a permission from the prosecutors to get a statement. You can only use this statement when you have been authorized or you have consulted with the DPP or the prosecutors and everything. But the information on that document is very specific. Each time a suspect is interviewed, this document must be used. Now I've referred to this court. I've taken Brigadier to a book that was written by these honorable people, one of which is a friend of yours, man. That deals exactly with that specific aspect. And I'm going to take that up on argument. Thank you, man.
Okay, no
Let me
problem.
finalize my cross-examination.
Yes, go on.
Please, just to
I don't
respond
know what procedure is
to what Leonard said. He has raised a point, and we are entitled to address the point. If one looks at this form, and this point has been debated ad nauseum, paragraph 1.a says, the station commander must consult with the prosecutor in circumstances in which the prosecutor requires a warning statement. It clearly says a warning statement, and that is the point that we are trying to buttress here, my lord.
Okay, yes, Mr. Nisi, any further cross-examination?
Professor John Dugat is your friend.
Yeah, boy. When he was still the dean of the Faculty of Law
Yes.
at Wits, and Pfeiffer was working under him.
Yes.
And he was also in the council with Bezos, Charles Cassin, Ante Halter,
Yes, my lord.
Sogot.
Yes.
You've heard of all these guys? Sogot. He died recently.
I think I've read something about him, my lord.
Yes.
Because I'm reading a lot.
Yes, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
And I'm reading relevant material, my lord. Legal material.
That's good.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Let me just approach accused
Yeah,
number
fine,
3 to
fine.
hear if there is anything that I need to.
Madam, if I may also approach accused.
Yes.
I mean, that's it, madam. Thank you.
Which years were you at Wits?
From 1989 to 94.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay.
So, madam, may I approach accused number 3?
'89.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you for the indulgence, madam.
Is that it?
I've got no further questions, madam. Thank you.
Okay. Re-examination? Is it tomorrow or today?
There can't be a re-exam now, madam, because accused number 1's case is still coming. We're just pending
Oh, I
everything.
see.
We're putting
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
in a
You're right,
page.
you're right, yeah, you're
Yes.
right, you're right.
kade asho khona ke njalo ummeli wakhe lomsolo wesithathu uthi uqedile ke ngokubuza ke imibuzo kufakazi okhona lapha kwenkantolo ke.
The court will recall the arrangements that we discussed with the court
Right.
in chambers yesterday, and the arrangements will now come into effect. And I think maybe Advocate Nisi should rather be the
Are
one.
you still continue with what you said you wanted to launch an application?
Yes, my lord.
Because the JP is seated there, he's listening to you.
Where?
At the back there. Don't worry, you want to see him?
I wanted to welcome him officially, my lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
He asked me about I told him about the application.
Yes.
He wants to have a chat with all you guys.
No, thank you, my lord.
I want to have a chat with all of you.
So I'm not so sure whether then should I bring this application
No.
now or should we
You can
then
bring it,
rather
you can
arrange to
bring
go
it.
and see the JP
You
first?
can bring it because
Thank you, my
he's
lord.
worried about the pace of this case.
Thank you, my
And
lord.
rightly so.
My lord, as I've indicated to the court in chambers, I was requested to assist with the representation of accused number one, which request I accepted. However, on account of the fact that although I was part of the proceedings, but I wasn't representing accused number one, then I was exclusively involved with accused number three. Now that I've been requested and accepted the request to also assist with the representation of accused number one, I deem it very prudent and very judicious for me to request that I be afforded an opportunity to go and read the record, particularly those portions as they relate to accused number one, all the assertions that should have been made by him, the level of cross-examination, etc., 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 and also decide, my lord, whether or not there will be a need, before making such a decision, I also need to consult with him very thoroughly. If he has got witnesses, I also will have to consult with his witnesses, even before I come to court and put certain versions that will come as a result of my consultation with him and those witnesses. So on the basis of that information, my lord, I am going to request that I be afforded an opportunity I've already started to read the records, but I need to indicate that it is voluminous, my lord. It is very voluminous. And in the process of reading, I also need to analyze. And also create
Collate.
Yes, to collate, my lord. Now, that's taking time. It's not an overnight thing, my lord. Hence, I then spoke to my colleagues and suggested that after my cross-examination, after I finalize my cross-examination of Brigadier uGininda on behalf of accused number three, I'm going to approach the court with a request that I be afforded an opportunity for at least 2 weeks for me to go and sit down, study the information, the record, which is up to now almost around about 35,000 pages. And also go and consult with Mr. Sibiya, who is not here in Pretoria, is at Morabi, at Bloemfontein. Yes, it's Bloemfontein.
Who's at Bloemfontein?
I'm told he's in the East Rand, my lord. Morabi is in the East Rand. In Benoni.
He's related. You don't know your country.
I do not know jails, man.
No.
Morabi is a jail.
It's not a jail, it's your country.
I know churches, man. Yes,
Morabi.
but nonetheless, man, I have to go to Morabi, go and consult with him there.
Yeah, fine.
And I'm very thorough in consultation, my lords. I just don't go through the emotions. My consultations are very thorough, there I must say. So I don't know how many days that consultation is going to take, but the total of all that I'm trying to bring to the attention of the court is that I am unable to start with my cross-examination now on behalf of accused number one to Brigadier uGininda. We had worked out a sort of a formula that I can go utilize the 2 weeks from today up to next week, and then we reconvene again on the 3rd, just for me to come and give an update as to how far am I with the process of preparing for the defense of accused number one's case, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Yes, Mr.
Kade yasho khona
Magasho. Sizwe abanye bathini. Mr. Ramusipidi.
As the court places, my lord, as per our discussions, I am amenable that Advocate uMnisi be given an opportunity to prepare the defense for accused number one, my lord, as the court places.
Yes, Mshola?
I have no objection, my lord, as per the discussion.
It's not immutable, that discussion. I told you just now the JP is around very easily.
But JP was not there, my lord. We were together.
Yeah, he's the head of the court. You'll be surprised. Hello?
But these are unusual circumstances. No one foresaw that the legal representative of accused number 1 will unfortunately pass on. And this is after certain propositions were made. We are of the view that the legal right to, the constitutional right to legal representation has got to be given effect to, which entails taking proper instructions, going through, canvassing all the relevant material, and this is what Advocate uMnisi is asking. And, my lord, we indicated that we are not going to object, and we therefore, my lord, support his request to be given time to canvass all these issues, my lord.
So the date after 2 weeks is how long? The Monday.
It is suggested, my lord, that we reconvene again on the 3rd of February.
What is that date? Is it Monday, Tuesday?
It's on a Monday, my lord.
3rd of February.
On the 3rd of February.
Will that be the last request or what? We don't know.
I don't know, my lord, really, I don't know.
Why don't we adjourn for a week and then you come and assess your position after that? Doesn't it make more sense? Yeah.
My lord, from today until the 3rd, it's almost a week. From today until the 3rd.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just saying, doesn't it make more sense to come and back, like I did on the 8th, like all of you did on the 8th. I broke my Christmas vacation and came to court. Why don't we do the same? We come on Monday and see how far Mr. uMnisi is.
Which Monday? My lord, the only Monday we have
It's
is
next week.
And the following Monday is the 3rd when we'll be back.
You said it's a holiday on Monday.
My lord, I'm saying the first Monday next week
Yeah.
will be too soon for council to be able to give a feedback. And the next Monday will be the 3rd, which is a week, almost a week from now, my lord.
You don't read on Saturdays, eh?
No, it's Sabbath on
You don't read on Saturdays.
I've just indicated to the court, my lord, that I know churches.
You what?
I know churches. On a Saturday, is Sabbath Lingwele, my lord. So we pay homage to our maker.
Okay, fine. Let's postpone then, for those reasons, to the 3rd. And the trial will continue as from the 3rd until, hopefully, it's finalized. Okay.
As it is the court.
Kade acelile ke isicelo sakhe ummeli ke okadameleke umsola wesithathu ukuthi kukhona ke isicelo abasicela ke abasolwa la inkantolo thizeni ke amele ke umsola wokuqala noma isicelo esaqhamuka thizeni amele ke umsola wokuqala ngemuva ukuthi ummeli womsola wokuqala bekashonile umnumzana ke uMngomezulu ke manje isicelo sakhe ukuthi khona manje ke icala libahlehlise for amasonto amabili ngenhloso mhlawumbe ngembangela ukuthi ahlale phansi ke nomsola wokuqala akhulumisane naye ngoba ngeke aqale ke inkulumo yakhe noma aqale kubuza ke imibuzo kumnumzana okhona enkantolo ngaphansi kwesifungo ufakazi ubrigadier ke ngoba ke kumele ukuthi ahlale phansi naye akhulumisane naye futhi alalele lonke ushicilelo la inkantolo ngesikhathi lesi kade beletha ufakazi la inkantolo futhi umsola wokuqala ke naye asho ukuthi yini mhlawumbe athanda ukuthi ayibuze ke kumfakazi la inkantolo futhi nanokuthi uma ngabe unabo yini abafakazi bakhe anabo abakhethekile nabo kwamele ukuthi atsheleke ummeli ukuthi unabo abafakazi futhi abafakazi bakhe naye kumele ukuthi akhulumisane nabo ke ummeli abafakazi bakamsola.
Is that it? Mr. Brigadier, will you be available?
On the 3rd, my lord.
You are not going to Stelfontein mine.
No, my lord. I'll be available, my lord.
You'll be available.
Yes, I'll shift things around.
Okay.
So, just before we wrap up today, I had previously requested through the court that Brigadier uGininda tried to find out for me if the reconstruction video that was conducted on the 16th of March 2015 was still available, just to assist him a lot. The person that took that video is Warrant Officer Dirk Johannes Weisen, and the PR number is 9 of 03/2016, my lord. So if that can be followed up via this PR number, perhaps it can be located.
I will assist him, my lord. I think between now and the next court date, we'll communicate with Mr. Ramsey.
As the court places on the
Mr. uMnisi, it may interest you to hear this silly story about the case that I was telling you Jugats gave evidence. in this very court in 1986, I think. Yeah, this group of 76. It was 1984. We called Jugats to come and present a document on our behalf
Yes, ma'am.
that ANC cadres are covered by the Geneva Convention of 1949.
Yes.
And consequently, they cannot be charged under the Terrorism Act because they are soldiers of war.
Oh, yes.
If you read your 1949 document about soldiers of war pertaining to guys who are fighting for freedom in their respective countries.
Yes, those international instruments, madam.
That's it, yeah,
Yes.
1949, yeah.
Yes.
And we rubbed Louis the wrong way. He asked us, are you saying South Africa is not a sovereign state? Because the ANC apparently signed those protocols on behalf of South Africa.
Yes.
And then Louis, after that, he was facing the wall. He never faced us after that. Because he said, we do not acknowledge that South Africa is a sovereign
It's
state.
a sovereign state, yes.
And unfortunately, as you know, he sentenced, it was Totobe
Yeah.
and Mokherane. And the third guy, I think it's the tall boy. I think it's Peiling Gubane, something like that. On Friday, he sentenced them to death. We prepared a notice of appeal and spoke to Louis that we'll be moving it on Monday.
Yes.
Monday, when we came to court, he looked at us and told Jack Unterhalter, the father to David Unterhalter,
Yes.
that unfortunately, Mr. Unterhalter, your clients have escaped to a higher jurisdiction. And we didn't understand why.
Yes.
Then he says, I'm told they were hung on Saturday morning. So they're out of my jurisdiction.
Summarily.
Yeah, they were hung.
They were
That's what
just
we
hanged
should do.
summarily.
Yeah, so our application,
Was nullified.
Yes. you must ask Jugat about that story.
Yes.
After that, he was recommended, Jugat, to go to the International Court of Justice.
Yes.
You know he served there.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Well, at certain quarters, Judge Louis was a very good judge.
He was a genius.
Yes.
Let's be fair.
Yes.
Louis never kept notes.
Yes.
Never kept notes. Everything in his head. He once ran an arbitration arbitration case. It involved a lot of corruption at the then Jan Smuts airport. You see that the ground around the airport, it used to belong to some Afrikaner farmers.
Yes.
But when they decided to enlarge the precinct of the airport,
Yes.
there was a guy called Agliotti. He owned that piece of ground.
I assume it's not the Agliotti in the Zondo Commission.
No, it's not the guy I gave bail the other day. But you see, Louis, I think for 3 to 5 months, he sat in that arbitration, never took notes, and he delivered the judgment.
Yes.
Award. You heard about his retentive powers.
I know that he was some body above the level of others, my lord.
No, no doubt.
Yes.
No doubt.
Thank you, my lord.
Okay.
My lord, yeah, on a lighter note, I wanted to say,
Yeah.
contrary to what Advocate uMnisi is saying, I do know who's Professor Dukat, and I can interacted
Yeah.
with Professor Grant as well from
Grant,
that
yeah.
facility. And ironically, I dealt with them on a specific matter where they were the defense and I was representing the state. So contrary to his understanding, I think it's wrong.
No,
Grant is
because
not-
Ugininda cannot represent the state, my lord. The state is always represented by prosecutors. Now he's claiming victories which are not there.
Grant, sorry, Grant?
As the IO. As the
Grant went
police.
to
Or as an
Australia,
IO.
no?
Yes, as the
Okay,
IO.
yeah.
Is
And
that,
Professor Grant.
yeah, you went to Australia.
Indeed, my lord. Yes,
Yeah,
when he
right.
was still at VETS.
Right, yeah, no.
Correct, my lord. So I just want to get that.
You're smiling, Mr. It's only not football, I know. I know some other things also. All right? Talk to the agenda.